Македонија ги стартува преговорите со Европската Унија или всушност ја започна првата политичка меѓувладина конференција со Европската Унија, за да продолжат или официјално да стартуваат преговорите по кластери, земјата мора да ги внесе бугарите во уставот, а со тоа и да започне втората меѓувладина конференција, а преговорите официјално да започнат по кластери. Во овие 6 месеци или до крајот на годината Чешка претседава со Европската Унија. Денеска гостин во вестите на телевизија 24 е универзитетскиот професор од Чешка Михаил Вит. Добре дојдовте.
Здраво.
Господине професоре Вит, на отворањето на првата политичка меѓувладина конференција која што се случи во Брисел, на обраќањето се обрати министерот за надворешни работи на Чешка, господинот Липавски, и се повика на договорот, меѓу другото и на договорот за добрососедство со Бугарија и на протоколот, оној протокол кој што се потпиша во Софија меѓу министрите за надворешни работи на Македонија Бујар Османи и министерката Генчовска, и кажа дека се суштински дел тие извештаи од член 12 во однос на проширувањето. Како да се толкува оваа порака во име на ЕУ?
No, I think that from the perspective of the Czech Republic, it is very important that the Czech Republic stands in between the countries that are holding the, let's say, real power in the European Union, and those like Germany, France, and those who understand both the Slavic legacy, the communist legacy, and are able to negotiate these small tensions, or small in terms of like the big picture of the whole enlargement, and are able to find a common ground for, let's say, the background talks that are important before going to public and before announcing, let's say, the big problems or the big breakthrough, etc.
Што значи оваа порака еве конкретно со оглед на тоа дека тука во земјата се дебатираше многу околу протоколот и вметнувањето на билатералните прашања во преговарачката рамка?
So, for instance, from the have you given an example from Central Europe that the most important thing is that the bilateral issues remain bilateral issues, and the role of the Czech Republic here in this very specific case should be calm down both sides, to find and to send a message. The EU enlargement process is more important than showing who has the truth, because history cannot be proven by truth or by opinion. This has nothing to do with the enlargement process. The enlargement process and the European Union as such is about leaving aside these issues and calming down both sides, sending a clear message. The story about enlargement is more important. The story about the EU the common market is more important, and the enlargement process can be and should not be about history, identity, culture, etc., etc. This very similar way, in this very similar way, for instance, the dispute between Slovakia and Hungary was solved. The historical dispute between Czech Republic and Poland was solved, and not speaking also about the case between Czech Republic and Slovakia, where the countries split 25 years back without raising this historical truth and this historical narrative, and basically saying we have our truth, Slovaks have their own truth. We can't agree on the interpretation of history, but for the story of the European integration and for the participation on the project, let's leave it up for the discussion that is not the matter of blocking, bargaining, threatening, etc., etc.
Дали со ваква преговарачка рамка имаме гаранција дека Бугарија во преговорите на Македонија со Европската Унија нема да блокира поради билатерални прашања? Зборувам еве откако ќе се внесат, да кажеме, бугарите во македонскиот устав. Имаме уште долг процес на преговори со Европската Унија.
Of course, yeah, you are right, and Bulgaria can basically block the process on the way. It will take 10-15 years at least, and in each. So the most important thing is that the chapters are open. The the integration process de facto starts, and that there is negotiations ongoing, which is not just the process as such, but also it's very strong message when it comes to the common market and the economy, and including Macedonia in the project of common market, which is the most important thing for the integration process. And the second, from the perspective of, let's say, like big picture, it's the thing is that once this is ongoing, you can always say that Macedonia is in the process, and not sending a message that Macedonia is blocked with some historical narrative. So this is one thing, and the second, and this is also the very important task for Macedonian representatives, to find allies and to find allies in the European Union who will defend, who will support, and who will do something more than just saying, "Oh, we support you." This is exactly the position for the Czech Republic, understanding the region, having a good relation with, having a good example, having a good practice from past 20, 30 years, saying this that this support is very crucial for the whole picture, for the whole integration process. Czech Republic was supported by Germany, and now it is time for countries like the Czech Republic to support countries like Macedonia, and I would be very happy if this is visible even more than now. But for this has to come from Macedonia, saying we want you to support us. You know, this is the framework. This is a proposal. We want you to be our collaborator or supporter.
Спомнувате сојузници. Чешка и Словачка беа двете земји кои што за време на германското председавање ги блокираа заклучоците поради барањата на Бугарија во однос на историјата, за ревизија на историјата. Зошто сега се прифати ова преговарачка рамка, која што е уникат и преседан на Европската унија во однос на Македонија? Зошто сега не изреагираа, да кажеме, Прага?
The thing is, the most important thing is the world has changed. The war in Ukraine has changed many things. I doubt that there would be such a rapid move and quick move if there is not a war in Ukraine. So this is, let's say, unfortunately for Ukrainians, the historical momentum that is asking Macedonia and Albania, are you ready to join in? Are you ready to start the process without, let's say, announcing month ahead? It's saying like now is the time. So that's the one thing. The second thing, what you have mentioned with Germany, it also refers to the fact that Germany has own problems now. First, second, Germany can't lead the, let's say, Central and Eastern European, certain and Eastern part of Europe, and the development in past 2 decades is showing it. So therefore, there are countries like Poland, Czech Republic, who are saying, we understand, we have the similar historical identity, culture, heritage, and this is the task for countries like Poland and Czech Republic, what I mentioned, to say, we will help you to overcome these disputes, we will help you to go through the chapters, and this is also, you know, if you go by the book, by the enlargement process, you can find millions.
Велите дека Чешка ќе реагира во иднина кога, да кажеме, Бугарија би блокирала?
I think that there are tools for the Czech Republic to use the influence inside the European Union to be the mediator, to unblock potential blocked things or block potential threats that are that can be coming for Macedonia.
Во земјата има различни ставови меѓу власта и опозицијата во однос на најавениот референдум, всушност референдумот кој што го бара опозицијската ВМРО ДПМН за внесување, за вметнување, за промена на уставот и вметнување на бугарите во истиот. Македонската влада вели дека тоа треба да се реши преку собранието. Кој е вашиот совет? Како аналитичар кој што се занимавате долго време на овие теми?
I'm not big fan of referenda because such a strategic things can't be simply the matter of referendum. Not because it's not democratically legitimate, but because these things are too complex. It's not about sewage system. It's not about the traffic. But these are things that will affect the country for decades ahead. And I personally don't see any obstacle why these things can't be solved in the parliament. And the Czech Republic, even though we had the referendum, but the key decision has been held in the parliament. And every other key decision about the European integration has been held in parliament and not through referendum.
Што може да очекуваме од чешкото председателство до крајот на годината? Ке има ли некакви чекори, да кажеме, за забрзување на процесот на евроинтеграција или за старт на втората прва меѓувладина конференција на Македонија?
I would wish to see only the best things, but
дали можеме да очекуваме зголемени посети, разговори, да кажеме со власта, со опозицијата и така натаму во однос на забрзување на целиот процес кој што веќе стартуваше во Брисел?
I think that the best thing that we can expect from the Czech presidency is to bring stakeholders at one place to cool down the situation and to say this power we have now in hands. We want to utilize what I have mentioned, and again it's about politics and it's about the symbolism and to send the signal we are to make the Macedonian representatives to say we are ready to send the signal that we want to open the first chapter as soon as possible.
Кога ги спомнавте кластерите кои што треба да се отворат кога веќе официјално ќе се стартуваат преговорите со Европската унија, тука и се и оние поглавја 23-24, во моментот во земјата се води битка помеѓу институциите кои што треба да се борат со криминалот. Дури ги повикаа и европските институции да реагират поради корупција и притисок. Како го коментирате ова? Што треба да се направи во моментот?
Look, I don't think that corruption has been invented in Balkans. So this is a very common saying from the EU states and EU institutions, saying that the corruption, the rule of law, etc., etc., etc. I personally don't like this attitude because there are many problems inside the European Union where, especially the European Commission is turning the blind eye on Hungary, even Greece, etc., and the countries that if you look deeply into the institutions, you will see many similar problems that we see generally in the Balkans, and I don't think that the corruption is the key problem in Macedonia. What I see is that there is a lack of strategy, lack of the power to execute some political task. So which is about the vision, which is about fulfilling the goal that is at the end of the story. Of course, when it comes to the EU projects, it's better not to be hungry and to have to keep the piece of a cake, let's say, for everybody, and not take it as one live shot. It's definitely, and it's about the strategy. If you do it once, the whole project or the whole pipeline will have the bad reputation and will be perceived from outside as saying, oh yeah, these Macedonians, oh, there is a lot of corruption, they are just stealing, etc.
Велите дека нема потреба да доаѓа европскиот обвинител Ковеси во Македонија, дека тоа може да се реши внатрешно?
This should be part of the enlargement, opening the chapters, but it's not the crucial. It's not the key thing that should happen from January 23. This is something. Again, this is a process, and this is exactly the thing that. This will go hand in hand with the opening chapters and introducing the measures that are, let's say, unified within the EU countries. But this is not definite. This should be definitely not the top priority.
Ви благодарам за разговорот.